We did our project on the relationship between children per woman compared to the dead kids per woman. The variables are correlated and have strong linear association. Many different lurking variables cause the children per woman to increase. This also causes the deaths to increase. In 1918, all the countries jolt upward quickly. This causes the Spanish influenza. And in 1940, all the deaths fall. This is because World War II ends. You can see it right there. Throughout the whole world, the deaths in the children per woman slowly decrease over time. The lurking variables for this fall is because abortion is being legalized, the invention of birth control, and the economy is getting worse, so less people are able to afford children, and women are getting more involved in society and are less likely to become stay-at-home moms. The next country we're going to show you is China.
In 1940, the children per woman increases, but the death total stays the same. The lurking variable that causes this increase is the government. The government saw a large population as an asset and encouraged having more children, only to later find out that a large population is much harder than it looks. In 1961, deaths increased rapidly, while children per woman stays the same. The lurking variable that causes this increase was the 3-year famine, and this time 15 million people died. The cause of this famine was bad planning by the government that was communist at the time, bad weather, and natural disasters. In 1967, the children per woman starts to decrease. This is caused by the introduction of the one-child law, which prevented 400 million births and caused the large drop in the children per woman.
Next country we'll be looking at is Russia. In 1892, there was a famine and the lurking variable that causes an increase in children per woman. This causes an increased child deaths because there are more children to die. And in 1914, the deaths increase and the population of children decreases. The lurking variable for this is World War I. In World War I, many people died, including children. Also in a time of war, the men of the country are not home. If the men are not present, it makes it quite difficult to make babies. And in 1918, the war ended and men came home, causing more babies to be born. Also with the war ending, there were less deaths in general. And in 1928, Russia had a revolution. The births went down because the population was too busy revolting and had no time for babies. In 1932, there was a large jump in the death of children. The lurking variable for these deaths is the famine of 1932. After that, Russia follows the trend of the rest of the world, the slowly decrease in population and in deaths.
The last country we're going to show you is the U.S. In general, the U.S. follows the trend of the rest of the world and slowly decreases in births and deaths. The causes for this we stated earlier. In 1929, the Great Depression begins, but as you can see, there's absolutely no effect on the births or the deaths of the babies. Right there was the Spanish influenza. And right here, in 1940, you can see the births begin to increase. And in 1946, the baby boom hits, and it ends in 1964. After that, the U.S. resumes the trend of the rest of the world, and this slowly decreases.